Welcome everybody to some Final Fantasy Randomizer kicking off Week 2. ShadowWalker versus Spellzapp. They're destined to do this dance forever. I am your friendly neighborhood Demon Frog, joined by one of our newly elected admins and confirmed liar based on the ping this morning, Danny3883.
I admit I'm a little bit of a fibber today, but that's how you pull off surprises.
So for anyone not aware, kind of the reason we did this, we had a co-op tournament last year. I was ShadowWalker's partner, Danny was Spellzapp's partner, and we're both here in the booth because we're not very good at this game, so we see the two people that were carrying the two teams to the finals.
Yep, they do all the hard lifting and we do all the things like comms when they race and, brackets, because we didn't make it. So.
Alright, perfect timing. We are off. Mute, tier 3 wall, soft. Alright, nah, not bad. Stop. Ugh, no sweepers. Alright. And that can be a problem for anyone not aware with what happens with our brackets. It is the same as the Chaos Week, plus we have Town Shuffle on, and the Canoe and Floater are both tri-state, so they're going to be loose more often. The Town Shuffle is the interesting thing here. You're not guaranteed Provoca or Elflin for sweepers.
If they don't get early, level 2, 3, or 4 here soon, they might be in for a rough time for a little while.
And did see a max price gold bracelet. Picking up Rapers, wooden armor, because you're going to be leaning on that melee. Drafting a pretty boring party. Come on, guys. Let's step it up for game 2. And
they did a little,
fighter,
just a little.
Fighter Thief, red black, standard issue.
Yeah. The draft went first with the Black Mage. Spellzapp did Thief red, and then Shadow and did it with the fighter. So we've got a bit of a standard party today for the fellas.
And Shadow opting to go ahead and take a level before heading up to Temple of Fiends. Buys a couple of tents. And we'll see if Garland can be our first roadblock.
With this magic, he may very well be.
All it takes at this point is a cremate or fire 2, anything could be a little on the nasty side. You see Spellzapp picking up stop, getting it to land, and starting to chip away.
Getting there in a timely manner, but we're getting there.
Well, time was stopped, so it's instant as far as Garland is concerned.
There you go. You have a point. I stand corrected.
Alright, looks like Garland wasn't allowed to do anything. Got through it. Shadow gonna go ahead and take his swing with level 2s. Oh, lands a critical hit for 64. That's going to speed it up quite a bit. Ruby and TNT.
The TNT's good now. They have access to Dwarf Cave. They're able to go turn that in, see what it turns into. The Ruby, they're going to be holding on to a little while longer till they find the canal. So nice to have because it gives you 2 incentives, but we're not going there yet.
Really expensive softs, really nicely priced houses. Didn't notice that the first go around. Yeah, so we have 3 loose plus the canal. So right now that Ruby is looking real good if they can find that canal. That's 2 incentive locations they can check off the board. Take a look, both mirroring each other. Oh, no. Shadow's going to go ahead and put Matoya off. Going to see what is in Provoca first. And we'll see what the old lady is holding on to. A bunch of money. A lot more money. A lot of
more money.
Not bad this early.
And
Aww. mean, yay for you, Shadow, when you watch this back.
Well, maybe yay. Let's say, depending on what the... I mean, those are all really good spells you're gonna want to see.
Yeah, Fast
But
and Lock, great.
an
Lock,
AoE
fantastic.
would have been great.
Looking to see you. Do we have Fade? Invisible?
Well,
oh man, level 2 is stacked. Ruse,
it
Invis
really
2, Warp,
is.
Fast, Lock. But no sweepers, and we have one town we can access, Elfland, to maybe get us something within that first page of magic. Which means we might be looking at a Marsh Cave Dive with no AoEs. Womp womp.
If this keeps going that way, remind me to apologize to them later for rolling this.
Shadow slowly chipping away. We have the TNT turn in. We have whatever's gonna come off Bicky. We have potential for Crescent Lake being an Elfland for another key item. There's still potential to get progression without Marsh.
So still, you know, we haven't seen a vendor item yet. They still have to check here. We still have another town where it could be. Well, see, Bicky, I was going to say might not be progression, but Onrad could land at Crescent, and then the loose we might need is in there.
With Fire 1,
I'm going to shut up now before I accidentally make that a reality by saying it out loud and then feel real bad about it in 5 minutes.
You know what? I like the Oxyel being on Bicky. It's a bit of an insurance policy. If the ship, if his pirates sink, he's got the Oxyel to keep his men alive. I like it.
He's planning ahead. That's a smart Bicky he is. Shadow about to get all his money from Matoya.
Yeah, not what they want, but seeing there's about between 12 and 15,000 gold. That's a really good start. That'll top off your heal potions and cures, all that that good stuff.
And you know, make sure the magic they do find, if they ever find any that's super useful right now, that they'll have money for it.
Mad ponies with crack. Okay.
Oh.
Well.
Oh boy.
Oh, and Shadow not saving. See, that is a great place to save. You go up, you check Matoya. If it's nothing good, you reset out. You're down there. But he did not think to save after picking up that little bit of loot.
That's one of those fun little tricks that, like, I learned watching people who are much better at me than this when I started playing, was the save there, reset out if it wasn't, which I always do, but oh boy.
Yeah, that amount of money definitely worth going back to get, and this time remembering to throw a save down, because, you know, crack on Mad Ponies is bad, but this is the only place you're going to see a Mad Pony. Spellzapp going back, remembering the Silver Swords at Corneria, which very well might put in quite a bit of use on this, with Fire 1 being your only offense.
Yeah. That with, you know, Fast and Lock it, you know, level 2. It makes, you know, swinging at it things a little easier.
And to anyone that's questioning why we're thinking Lock is so good, we do have Lock fixes on. Vanilla Lock was not guaranteed to land, and also didn't have a very good effect when it did land. We guaranteed it to land, so high evasion chaos, which is absolutely possible with these percentages. Lock can be a game changer. Paradorf engaged. Alright, Opal Gauntlet, goods vendor money. Lazy Dwarves! We haven't had Lazy Dwarves in I don't even know how long.
Always like getting Lazy Dwarves, it makes it easier. On them and on me.
This is not the key item you were looking for, but it is another 10% experience we do have key item boosts on. That also clears out dwarves unless you want to come back with a key, which is nice to know that you don't have to come back here if you don't want to. Alright, we're gonna get our first look at Elfland and see just how bad Marsh Cave might be.
For their sake, I'm thinking happy thoughts right now.
Worst case scenario confirmed.
I'm gonna say it now. I'm sorry.
Are you? No.
A little bit. A little bit. I mean, I wouldn't want to run it.
Yeah, so your options at this point are Marsh with fire, and I mean, they have warp. So, as long as they can get to where they need to go, and they can get out. They're both praying. Marsh has something, because otherwise they need to go level 2 Sea Shrine with Fire 1.
I mean, Ice or Litwin was also there. I mean, that works a little better in on-rack.
Mm-hmm.
Not by much, but it's slightly better.
Technically, it's better.
I mean, technically counts, right?
Why don't you ask them that when they come in for the post game?
I feel like I may need to hide before they come in for the post game.
Yeah, with the old switcheroo we pulled, I'm wondering if they're gonna think that this was more of a plando than a rando.
They're getting all kinds of surprises today.
And Shadow getting the bad news that he has the Oxyale. He can do it if he wants.
Unfortunately, right now they've got 2 options, and neither are all that great.
I mean, Marsh is looking a lot better, but admittedly, and looks like Shadow might have sniffed out that he can get a good run. So here we have our first deviation. This is going to be interesting. Because mathematically speaking, Sea Shrine's the better play for number of chests. It's just you don't have the levels, equipment, magic, or anything at all to handle what he's throwing at you. This might actually be where their draft might actually save him a little bit. They have Thief and Black Mage.
Yes.
Both really good at running. Get them in and get them out as far as they need to. And come out with something. Shadow fights the door boss and door boss wins. Okay.
Shadow was just doing a little bit of a happy dance for her. That's all.
Yeah, happy dance. That's exactly what Shadow's doing right now.
I mean, I'm sure given the situation they're in right now, totally a happy dance.
Alright, Shadow makes it to Mermaid.
For, money, which is nice, but nothing that's really gonna help him much.
Alright. Scorpion's hitting real hard. Has 2 Spellzapp's characters down. Nothing on and a wipe on Spellzapp. I didn't see if they were unrunnable.
I don't think so. They were real mean, though.
Okay, Age of Shield, Sun Sword. Okay, progress, kind of. Floater loose. Okay.
Real nice to see. Not helpful at the moment.
Yeah, we still need a canal. And there's the other piece of the puzzle. Well, one piece of the puzzle, because we still need canoe, actually. So now Shadow has a bit of a decision to make. Do you go left side as far as you can, or do you nope out with that and take your take your chances on Marsh.
I would nope out with that, and then if I go back, like, I'd feel, I'm one of those people who, like, if I can keep checking in a place and I'm still looking for something, I'm gonna keep looking. So, I probably would have went back in hopes of, like, the canal, something was there, but
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
also much better at this than me, so their decisions are going to be much better than mine would have been.
it's a tough call because you have to go left side to get to Kraken. You're going to be there anyway. Right side was just a hope and a prayer that something was there and it worked out for him. I saw on Spellzapp side picks up a katana so that thief can go ahead and put some work in once they get airborne. They already have the tail. Shadow deciding left side not worth it since you can't one-shot it. Go into Marsh, we'll get his canal. That'll mean Ruby is in play. That'll mean a bunch of towns are in play. That's what he's going to need to do. So Shadow's going to have another interesting, actually, decision coming up. He's likely going to check north side Marsh first, and at that point, you pick up Canal, you have Floater, you have Ruby in hand and a bunch of towns. Do you leave Marsh on the table and nope out with what you got?
Like I said, I'd want a full clear before I left just because I would be afraid of leaving something behind that was there. But
oh, I see what it is. These Scorpions have paralyzed touch and hit pretty hard, 30 to 40 per swing. That's what got Spellzapp the first go through. Oh, okay. Well, infinite stake. Oh, okay. That is our normal Marsh incentive location. It is not incentivized. Rando gonna rando and put a second loose right there in that normally incentivized Marsh chest.
16 minutes in, already found 2 loose. The game's like, we're giving you nothing to make this easy, and we're gonna send you to places that are difficult where you have to get your loose items out of.
Yep, Chime plus Canal puts
Chime and
Mirage.
Floater we're both loose, and then the canal. So yeah, we've got a lot of places we can go now. We can check. We can.
Oh, and I didn't see. Did Spellzapp not? I guess he had to have died to something because he's going back. Alright. Now the moment of truth for Shadow decides he's going to clear it, it looks like. Or maybe he's just going for a walk.
No. Shadow got his canal and he's booking it.
So right there could be the game changer for ShadowWalker. Noping out, leaving that Chime in the bottom of March. Nobody wants to go to March, especially in the condition they're in. I get it. Spellzapp decided to clear the bottom, knows the Chime is there, going back to get it.
Jalen chat asking, I guess this means Marsh was required this seed. It sure was for 2 reasons.
Yep, Canal to get you out of the Inner Sea, Chime to get you into Mirage. Top and bottom, Marsh. You didn't get the skimp out either way.
And now each racer has knowledge the other one doesn't have. Spellzapp has the Chime and knows it was in Marsh bottom. Shadow did Marsh top, got his canal and left. Shadow knows the loose floater is in Mermaids, and Spellzapp hasn't been there, and I'm not sure with his canal he's going there. He may be like, I've got the canal, I've got the ship, I have a ruby to turn in, because, you know, that's 2 incentives. He may just book it right past Onrak.
Yep, you got a bunch of towns that have also, you have Crescent Lake, you have Elfland, you're looking for something to, you know, actually have some sweepers. I'd be shocked if Spellzapp decides to go right side. Down to Elfland, let's see. There you go, finally. Level 3 nuke, that's a pretty solid place to find it, even though they didn't find it as early as they wanted. Oh, level. Okay, level 4 Cure 4. I'm sorry, level 3 Cure 4. Night Learnable. That always is fantastic to hear. Heal 3 I saw. Level 4.
Don't this Fire 3 and Tip are both very good level. I think Kill 3 was slot 2, and if that's the case, it's not Red Mage or Red Wizard learnable, but he was in there and out real quick, so I may be wrong, but...
Yeah, I saw. I didn't see what slot. Cure 4 on that level 3 magic spot, though, is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Fast and Temper, first page is great. Nope, alright, and Spellzapp leaving the floater on the table. We'll see if that comes back. So yeah, both people are leaving something on the table that they need, and we'll see which one causes more pain. I have a feeling ShadowWalker leaving that chime is going to cause a little more time loss than Spellzapp leaving the floater, but we will see.
And yeah, Heal 3 was slot 2.
And we have our Canoe. So, ShadowWalker, yep, he's going to go ahead. Not even going to bother with Sarda, because he's going to check Sarda once he's in the air. So on Spellzapp's side, we saw a reasonably priced steel armor, pretty good. Silver bracelets, reasonably priced, kind of get some early to mid-game defense going on. ShadowWalker says, "Get me in the air, get me in the air, get me in the air."
Spellzapp deciding money was more important than that katana he had, so that became a vendor sword. And we're now buying armor for our party.
It's sold for max price, so you get 32 grand out of it. There's another one. You have the option of, you have Excal, Mazza, Vorpal, another katana all on the table. I can kind of see saying, you money now, and hopefully you'll stumble upon something for that ninja a little bit later. 2120 ShadowWalker in the air. Boo for the Vanilla Town shop. Alright. Gonna see what our old men have for us. Check the magic. Oh, not even checking magic. I guess he doesn't have the money for it. We'll check it later. Alright. I'm okay with that. That's good to have that before you find Gaia. So bottle is on the old men. Gaia also landing vanilla. Okay.
Okay, I think this may possibly be the most towns I've ever seen roll vanilla in a town shuffle.
Still looking for a vendor item also. Nothing in Gaia. Gonna see what the bottle turns in. We still don't have any of our whammy items. We have Power Gauntlet, Opal Bracelet, and the big whammy, the Thor Hammer, out still as our whammy items. And speaking of one, we get the middle tier, Opal Bracelet. You never say no, but it's not what you want.
True. Arda with the crown.
And again, so Shadow knew he was destined to be in the air. Could leave Sarda, which is making me nervous. I always check Crescent Lake and then Sarda after getting the airship, so Shadow not checking Sarda immediately really makes me nervous. So he's going to leave that on the table.
I do the same.
Spellzapp, yeah, because it's too easy to forget it. Spellzapp having to walk to Sarda and back. Now he has a crown, thinks maybe that's where I need to go. So he's going to go on a bit of a trip here.
Yeah, I normally would do the same thing like Shadow did. If I got the canoe in Titan and I already had the floater, I would have done the same and went to Crescent, down to get my floater, down towards Crescent. That way, it's quicker than adding that walk to Sarda. Especially after the one time I forgot to do that. It was in a broadcast race, and Fizzle reminded me that was dumb, and I should have left Titan and got my floater first. But it's something I always remember to do now.
And something else, so Spellzapp not having the floater says, alright, I got time, I'm going to be digging, I can sell this katana. Shadow knew he was ready to go, was able to keep that katana, gets his promotion. He now has a ninja with a katana. He has someone he can dump fasts and tempers into. Also has a sun sword on that knight, so he's pretty well. We'll see what this crown turns into off of Sarda. The key, a required item. Great place to get it. You got 3 boxes and 2 trap tiles to check. Meanwhile, Shadow just checking these free chests. Cardia heal helmet, pro ring, alright.
Anything he's, hoping to find, but not exactly bad pickups either. Spellzapp now has his key, so he's headed to do key lock chest. So, which, it's smart. He can check, see if there's anything here, check for loose, and check... Well, I was going to say trap tiles, but that would have made me look like a liar.
And it's a great place to get it. You have, another ribbon on Shadow. So I think, Shadow is up to 2 ribbons.
Yeah, he found one in Mermaids and just found another in the Cardia aisle.
But yeah, this is a great place to pick up the key, especially without the airship. Doors is right there. You're kind of in that area where all those key locks are, and he's still looking for that last little bit. Loot, our vendor item. Can't quite afford it, but that is at the Oasis. Vanilla again.
It would seem
Dwarves.
It would seem I rolled a lot of things vanilla. Level 1 magic just being actual level 1 magic. Towns that should be shuffled that aren't.
Dwarves coming up more or less empty. It has the mid-game defense starter kit. Has an ice shield, a flame shield, a pro cape. So all the shields all the time. Not bad, but not what you're looking for. Shadow gonna go ahead and check in Waterfall. Yeah, unfortunately for Shadow, he's gonna full clear pretty much everything at this point before he goes back to Marsh. Whereas Spellzapp's only going to have so far he can go before he realizes something is in sea.
Yeah.
But we'll see if the time that Shadow makes up by being in the air. It's kind of, this is a really interesting kind of dilemma as to which person is going to net the most time.
Shadow in Waterfall, and I'm sure, Spellzapp will check the town here and then head to Waterfall himself, so...
Melman, Life and Fade, 2 and 3 on the white magic side. Brackquake, Dark, alright. It's a pretty reasonable level 5. I mean, considering how bad 1 was, 2 was good, but all the utilities you could want. 3, 4, 5 all turned up pretty solid. Once you got out of the Intercontinent, you kind of cracked this thing open.
Yeah, and that life was promotion locked, but when they, having the tail, that is something their red mages will be able to learn, and which is good because we haven't seen life 2, and being life locked out of any, seed, it feels real bad. So
yeah. So Spellzapp getting the news. The loot is at the key item here. One thing I love that he did, it is a vendor. You can buy cabins, heals, houses, whatever you like. Stocking up on a bit of cabins. I can't tell if Shadow's ninja is down on purpose or not. Picking up the rod, so Waterfall is required. We have all of Earth. See, that's going to open up all of Earth now for Shadow to dig before going back to Marsh. Yeah, it looks like Shadow's definitely picked up on that long run after 2 quick encounters on the table. I've seen him abusing that pretty much the whole time.
always nice when you can find a good long run, early in in the encounter table, and it doesn't take multiple encounters to find one. Shadow being class changed has got life on his red mage, so I'm sure he was happy to see that, like I said, since we haven't seen life 2 yet.
Yep, you're gonna have a way to pick up that knight. Again, that knight's gonna have Cure 4 when he gets back around to Elfland. So I wouldn't plan to see much grinding. Shadow with life and Cure 4 on the table is gonna be coming in hot to Topher, I'm sure. Spellzapp too. Neither of these guys are known for over preparing.
Yeah, not typically. Like, I know, like, I mean, if I'm comfortable doing, like, if I, like, learning these flags, I mean, they're not the same as the Swiss flags. There's different, you know, definitely different, things that these flags are different, but I still, when I, like, tried these just because I didn't make it to brackets, but it was still, like, the same comfort level as the Swiss flags going in at, like, level 24-ish. Which, with, you know, you can easily get just kind of taking fights along the way in these flags without really having to grind too much a lot of the time, so.
Yeah, the overall difficulty didn't increase. The scaling or nothing went up or anything. It's the town shuffle and the increased chance for that floater and canoe to land in the loose instead of the incentive is what's ratcheting the difficulty up here in in these bracket states. Alright, so Shadow did stop at Sarda, thankfully, because that is going to be a required trip.
Yeah, he got his crown. He hasn't turned it in yet. He's doing some magic shopping first, but...
Well, I think he forgot which town was which, because he walked into Honorax and said, wait a minute. And we're trying to take a look. With the magic that he has, okay, yeah, he does have the ninja backup. Yeah, fast, lock, nuke, temper, all available to that ninja. There's just too much good stuff to keep the ninja down, I think, at this point.
Yeah. He gets to learn all the really nice spells.
And depending on what they find, he has, like I said, he has Sun Sword it's doable. It's fine. You can do these flags with a Sun Sword. You don't want to, though.
If I beat
Katana.
Yeah, I beat these with the Sun Sword, and if I can do it, these two are more than capable of doing it.
Alright, looks like Spellzapp remembered. No doubt that he was going to remember, but he did remember that the loot was here. Going to go ahead and make a trip up. Just enough money from what he took out of Waterfall to pick that loot up. But again, that's another trip on foot that Spellzapp has to make that Shadow doesn't.
Yeah. Shadow's definitely has an advantage that, you know, a lot of these things that he's doing, he's able to do faster because he's in the air. But it really depends on how much of an advantage he's gonna have or even in lead, if you would say, just because having that loose chime is something that's going to be required, and it's in a spot that not a lot of people like to check. So it really all just depends on how much of lead this floater is going to give him, depending on where he goes and checks.
Spellzapp might be a little sorry he did not. Spellzapp making the decision. He's in the area. He's got the canoe. He's going to go ahead. He's got low level warp as well. Going to go ahead and clear out this ordeals. He's hoping, praying for that floater. We all know it's loose in mermaids.
Always nice having warp when you do ordeals. It makes it so much easier.
Yep, the way that the spell is, and you saw Spellzapp using the warp trick there, you go the wrong way, you cast a warp, it takes you back one floor, and you can take the right pillar. And the problem is remembering where you've been and where you're going, which
I'm not good at.
I've absolutely spent 5 minutes with warp in ordeals going, I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
You get so far in, especially if you've already warped a couple of times, you get confused. Like, wait, was I already here? Though he made quick work of ordeals. He's already made it through the maze, so that's good. And I like the, being that he has, only a few places to check, but I always, like, if I have the canoe and stuff, and even whether or not floater, like, the trip to ordeals is shorter when you're on boat. So it was smart of him to stop here.
Yep, you're already here, you have the canoe. So with the tri-state, there's a 50-50 chance that the floater and the canoe was incentivized. This is an incentive location. So yeah, I mean, it's if you've sailed down to this on-rack area, you have the canoe, it's a no-brainer to go to ordeals unless you've picked up the floater at a waterfall. Gargoyles with Bane is not a fun... wipe Spellzapp out. Spellzapp does not have the benefit of the ribbons yet, so a big, nasty 6-9 pack of Argos with Bane is going to be real bad news.
Ordeals was going well. The Argos had other
And
plans.
I believe those were on the trap tile in Waterfall, and I think they both dodged that bullet.
If they were, they certainly didn't see, Bane from him with a party wipe.
Alright, Corneria locked, coming up empty. The search continues. Let's go down to Elfland. Let's check out Elfland locked. A little bit of money, a little bit more money. Opal armor, okay. Gold bracelet, fantastic.
Both really good pickups.
Yep, with a ribbon, with 2 ribbons, one to put on your red mage, one to put on your knight now. Although that's not how he's set up for now, but opal armor, great. Gold bracelets for 65,000 gold, so that'll go ahead and cover one purchase. Oh, Shadow stutter there for a minute. You could see him thinking. He was about to go ahead and dive. Volcano decides ice is...
And we have cube in ordeals, which means...
That's real bad for Spellzapp. That's real bad for Spellzapp is what that means.
Well, I mean, that makes this... doable floaterless.
Yeah, okay.
So, Spellzapp doesn't have the floater, but he's got all the stuff he needs to finish. ShadowWalker has the floater, but still will have to dig out that loose chime.
Man, so I'm trying to think. Where was Sunsword?
Sunsword was, hang on, it's in my notes. In Mermaids.
Okay, so Spellzapp. Okay, he's gonna get. Man. Yeah, it's doable floaterless, but again, Sunsword's kind of the minimum viable product you want to try and take this on. So that's a real tough sell. Another interesting tile, zombie dragons, but Zeto's already grinded. He's not grinding again. And another, holy cow, I am loving. There's just so many options here.
Life 2, level 6.
Alright, so we know that Crystal's going to be one of our whammy items. Oh, Excalibur pickup on Shadow's side. Alright, Shadow, I think, is past the point gear-wise where he's like, okay, this can happen.
I would be more than comfortable with his gear that he has on his people. of doing Topher with his gear. For him, at least if I was him, for me it would be all about finding just the items I need for go mode. I'd no longer be worried about gear.
Alright, Spellzapp making, for him, I think, a much better choice of checking Volcano, because he doesn't have the benefit of the airship. Hoping there's something shows up here. He's still looking for that last loose item. Yeah, so that crystal's going to turn into, ultimately, either Power Gauntlet, which is fantastic, or the big whammy being our Thor Hammer. Vorpal, alright. So Vorpal and Armory, that's something that ShadowWalker is almost certainly going to pick up. Yeah, this is going to come down to if Spellzapp can find that last loose here soon, he can put pedal to the metal and skip whatever chests he wants to. Both ribbons were optional if he wants to go floaterless. Well, one is hard locked to a floater. So that's going to be his big thing, is finding the resistance gear to feel comfortable into it.
And the one ribbon, along with like the Sunway Sword mentioned earlier, actually are in mermaids with the floater. So if he gets to that point where he's looking and he finds those, he's going to end up with the floater. Oh, and Matoya has the power ball.
All right, so again, that's the best whammy item. Gladly take it. Not what Shadow wants, because he still needs Cube. He still needs Chime. And that's what he's after. He's after Cube and Chime, and he's in go mode.
Yeah, I could easily see Spellzapp going, floaterless and not promoting if he had, a bit better gear. He had, something a little better he could swing and actually get through Temple of Fiends Revisited with. So I'd say part of him is looking for that loose for that floater, but also, like, if he finds, like, a Mazza loose somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Mazmoon would 100% change, flip the script.
Well, hello.
Okay.
Well,
I'm
aren't you nice to see?
Especially on this tile, you can go up and down. You never risk an off-step encounter.
Dan and Danny are about to get all kinds of levels.
Which, probably not intentional, but you know what? Of the two people to be getting levels piled onto them, I'm okay with the fighter and the red mage. Look at that, 6,000 for one fight.
It's like we're co-oping in the spring tournament. Go Dan and Danny. Oh. So much experience on those tiles.
Yeah, so you sit here, okay, yeah, just sit here forever.
At least for a little while.
He was trying to be cheeky and see if he could take it out with that silver sword. Not quite yet. Another couple levels, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, 4, 1, 16, come on. Some of the weakest eyes ever.
Yeah, they don't have anything. They're not hitting hard, like...
A little bit of HP on them, but...
Yeah.
But
not so much that I'm gonna be like, I'm not taking this for a while, because...
Yeah, look at that. 8,000 from one fight piled onto those two. He's going to power level 9,000.
While he does that, Shadow getting his cube out of ordeals.
Yeah, so Shadow is now just that chime away. Luckily, it's the chime, I suppose. That way it locks him completely out of Mirage. but he's now gonna end up clearing Volcano and Earth before finally figuring out, whoopsie daisy, it's in Marsh.
Honestly, between watching and like helping with crew on a lot of these races, I think that the bit of route divergence and what each player knows and what the other one doesn't is quite possibly like one of the most different of any of the seeds I've seen this whole tournament. Like the way it's playing such a big part in like how each person plays and like who has what and
yeah, and especially like I was saying, some sort of minimum viable product with this tile right at the 30. Let's do this with a silver sword. Let's have some fun. This is some good old BB strats going on with Agama tile ramped up to 11.
a little bit. Like, in being in, like, if I was in Spellzapp's position where, like, I'm in go mode, I have things like I'm seeing, class change may not happen, and I want levels because it just whatever. Like, seeing this, I would have maybe done just a tiny bit of a happy dance.
Yeah, this is totally something you could say, alright, I can either sit here and guarantee myself the oomph I need to get through Topher, or I can gamble and hope that I find enough. And it looks like you might be going with the more surefire thing than the gamble.
Like I said, like if he had a better weapon than what he has, I would 100% just be like, yeah, he's absolutely 100% like just doing this floaterless.
Yeah, the scary thing for Spellzapp is we know without a floater, he's running with at best one rivet.
Yeah.
And if you're taking the time to grind here and you're in go mode, I don't know that he's checking anything other than green chests along the way. I think that's the gamble you have.
And while it's not the ideal situation, Wall was level 1 Red Mage learnable, so he does have that. So he, like I said, which, works kind of as a in-battle ribbon, which, not ideal, but if you don't find a ribbon, you're real happy when you have Wall. And I don't see him using, much else from level 1 later in the game. So, he's gonna have
I believe... oh, no, never mind. I'm thinking Wall's level 1 Knight learnable, but we're talking floaterless, so no... Yeah, never mind.
Which it's looking like he hasn't picked up Wall, so if he doesn't find a ribbon, here's hoping he remembers.
Yeah, he hits 606, takes down Carry first orb at 47 minutes 20 seconds. Yeah, the grind tiles are bananas so far.
Yeah.
You have like
they're just stupid good this scene.
I think you have at least 4 or 5 of the Fizzle's top 10 grind tiles.
Oh yeah. I could actually check because I have that as a list in my Fizzle's FFR guide. Or Fizzle's Guide to FFR. It's one of my categories in there. So, but yeah.
Alright, Shadow clearing out just a little bit behind Spellzapp. Clearing out got his black shirt, which he can actually equip, which is great. That's death and time resistance on that black name.
Spellzapp bringing back that black mage and headed to his boat.
And Shadow getting the good news that there's another grind tile if should he want to take it. Like, I almost can't not see saying, alright, you know what, I'm dumping my nuke charges here.
entirely sure what his levels are, but I'd 100% sit here at least for a little while.
He definitely is taking at least one extra, because you can step to the left and avoid that tile on the way down. So he's at least, you know what, I'll take one extra. What's one? Alright, yep,
Right.
just the one extra.
Yeah, Chad said he was in the high teens, and I know Shadow's not one who necessarily stresses about how high his levels are.
Yeah, he's high
So-
teens. He has half of Sea Shrine and all of Sky. Don't get the rest of his levels there, but man, that is tempting.
Oh yeah.
And the last poor Deng on Spellzapp, I think that grind definitely put the nail in Deng's coffin.
He might have made his big comeback if we had class change, but like you said, Spellzapp, he's in go mode. He's skipping a lot of boxes, so I think it's hey, if I find floater somewhere, great, but we're not worried about it right now. We got to go.
Yeah, you got fast. You have plenty of tempers to shove into that silver sword. Yep, make it happen.
It's one of those things where, like, if there's somebody who, like, I know is, like, gonna be fine diving Topher at a really low levels, it is Shadow. But if there's somebody I know who's like, alright, well, this is what I'm swinging, and it's a silver sword, let's just give Topher a shot with it. It'd be Spellzapp. So...
Yep, Spellzapp just walking by everything. He will probably check those 4 chests, the green chests coming up.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yep, he's gonna hang his hat on those levels he got and hope that's enough to get him by in terms of magic defense and resistances. Shadow, what are you doing, buddy?
I think I think he's headed into Onrak.
Yep. Gonna go ahead and clear out Kraken.
It starts to think we got a rune sword, but I'm honestly not real sure if that's better than a silver sword. So.
Oh, Spellzapp was so close to doing it right. You go right then up, right then up.
See, you're close, but it's up then right.
I have to agree to disagree. Or maybe that's why you wanted to co-op and we didn't. I don't know. And one thing I do want to point out, I think we've seen 2 pro rings on Shadow's side. I want to say that we have not seen those in shops yet, so that's probably fine.
Yeah, if we've seen them, I missed it.
So those are actually.
But he has found a couple.
Yeah, he's found 2.
Oh.
Normally it's like okay, whatever. Pro rings are good. I'll buy them later.
Did I just see? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but did I just see airs with nuke?
Whoa.
We've got nuke airs? Okay, chat confirms. I'm not crazy. We've got nuke airs.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Well, I guess it's a good thing that Shadow doesn't have chime now.
Oh, hello.
Oh, our Lord and Savior, the robot
hello,
chicken,
Red friend.
and
Yep.
Spellzapp denies us.
He said, not today. Sorry, robot friend, not today. You might have to wait to play with ShadowWalker.
Alright, 4 hits, 5 damage. That's...
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh. Well, that was rude. Tia.
We have Death Touch, Tia. That's bad. Mazmoon, left side, C. That's good.
That is good. That's an easy check. That's in a super free chest that I would be real surprised if Spellzapp doesn't check.
Okay,
right.
so
okay. We're getting there.
Spellzapp is in full clutch mode. We have a Death Touch Tiamat.
Oh,
And a hold.
Oh, and we got there, folks. Oh, that had me a little worried for him. Just a little bit, not gonna lie.
Very worried, especially that hold. When you're paralyzed, you lose all evasion. Not that he had any evasion to begin with.
And we just found the loser in C. Apparently C was C and Marsh.
Oh, so we have Blue Stake on Spellzapp side, and he is going ahead and giving us the Blue Stake. Oh, Shadow, a little bit of a mistake there. Dragon Armor left it in, has to take this fight again, but it's a fighter, so good experience.
He did have the opal, so it wouldn't have been the worst thing if he left it, but it's definitely an upgrade, that's for sure.
But the other thing on Shadow... Okay, I'll take 4 worms, sure.
Well, maybe. Let's see. How many hit points do y'all have? Oh! They're just a little big.
Ah, 2 nukes and a swing and a swing. Oh, and he has the Mazmoon on the Black Mage, so he has 3 people that can swing pretty good, but we did see on Shadow's side picks up the herb, and a pretty good place to pick it up. You step right, step up, and he'll be able to turn that in for his Thor Hammer, so I'm sure he'll be thrilled for that.
Yeah. And, I mean, real convenient, because he's going to pop out of Onrak and be right at, you know, not North what Equal has, but Elfland Castle, so... And finds another pro ring, so if they did see them anywhere, and he's like us and don't remember it, he doesn't need to worry about it anymore, because I think he's found enough. Like... Spellzapp is heading back towards, you know, the Elfland area where Onrak is. At least that's my guess.
Yeah, and this is always tough. Nothing but a fighter, not fantastic at running, and you just gotta kind of struggle your way to a town to get everybody else upright.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely headed back there to see. I'd have been real surprised if he did Earth before that, so...
Alright, yeah, Shadow coming up just a little bit behind, getting ready to light his water orb.
Spellzapp brings back up some party members. See's no fun if you're doing it alone. So... Danny and Cece are back for the ride.
Kraken 1. Swing, swing, nuke, nuke. Nuke. 102, low roll. Another nuke. 160, not very good. Katana, 155. Excal, 408, terminated. Didn't even get to see if Kraken had anything good.
Shadow about to get the bad news that Prince has the slab.
That's not good. That means
We've got a fetch quest that's gonna lead us to the Thor Hammer.
Yep.
And Shadow's gonna be real sad after that.
Hold on. I think we had to have seen pro rings. No, I'm second guessing myself because Lafine has to be Lafine. Is that not?
So they had to have been somewhere and we just missed them.
Okay, yeah, Lafine has to be Lafine, which means Shadow's about to make a really long walk for not a lot of payoff.
Hey, he's been in that airship a while. Maybe he just needs... These little guys just want to stretch their legs. That or they didn't check. Did they check the armor shop in maybe Melmond? Check it. And he checks it! He's got a sword, folks!
Alright, so that puts Spellzapp in a real good place. Go mode with a Mazmoon, fast, temper, reasonably low level, invisible too. His big thing is ribbons. That's the scary thing on Spellzapp's side is we're gonna go we're ribbonless with Out promotion.
And no life. Because without promotion, he doesn't have life on that red mage at level 5. Or I think it was level 6, which would have been red mage learnable too. So he is completely without life to bring up, anybody who gets bonked along the way.
Right. And both runners going ahead and giving us the blue state today. That is bonus points. If we were running some kind of bingo or Final Fantasy, we would we have to award some points for that. Alright, Spellzapp and Shadow getting, and there we go. Got the bad news, reset out all the way back, that entire walk.
Yep.
Back to the airship.
And
he knows
I
it's
think
Earth.
he looks like he's headed to Earth.
Yep, and we all know he's gonna full clear Earth looking for the chime that is gonna Mars. First swing at a Kraken, not much. Kraken does have Thunder though. And no problem. Fast and Silver Sword and a nuke. Kraken down, 3 orbs, just about, we'll call it hour even. Yeah, so Spellzapp's gonna go in with about a dungeon lead. By the time he go modes Earth, Shadow's a bit ahead, but he's gonna have to full clear.
Spellzapp taking a short boat trip to Earth. Spellzapp or Shadow finding even more swords this time that he doesn't need. I think he's found just about every sword you can imagine in the game so far.
I mean, he's had the full clear of the game up to this point, so I mean, I'm surprised he's found pretty much everything you could want. Yeah, he knows he has all of the whammy items. He knows that he knows the chime is loose. So he's got to clear everything.
Spellzapp having, go everything he needs for go mode. He's got, he's got the Mazza now. He's gonna book it through here.
Yep. Might check a couple of chests on this next floor that are relatively free, hoping for that little cheeky ribbon to show up.
And Shadow having to, stop and check chests because he's still looking for that chime. Spellzapp's now just a bit ahead on the 3rd floor. While the bats...
come on, bat.
While the bats, doing bat things. There we go.
Oh, poor Dang goes down again.
He's trying, but...
And there we go, Shadow with our 3rd ribbon. Spellzapp. That was a chest that I'm not surprised that he didn't. That's very common to be checked. That first chest B2 Earth.
I mean, I get why he didn't. It technically is a bit out of the way, but it's it's not too much of a hard check. It's right there, so. I'm not surprised that he didn't check it, but I wouldn't have been surprised either if he had. At least not terribly. I figured this and maybe one other the ones he's gonna check, and that's about it.
Yeah, Spellzapp's done, minus, we'll see if we get some validation chests here in Temple of Fee.
I know a lot of people when they're short on gear, and they'll, check those looking for things, I never do, and possibly for a silly reason, but I always make sure that like my heels are lined up nicely before I go into Topher. And I don't ever want to check those chests and get like a tent or a cabin or something that messes up my alignment and makes my menuing harder. So I just don't risk it.
This is something that you can definitely feel me on, Danny, for co-op. So if anyone's not aware, co-op, you share key items. If me and Danny are on a team, Danny picks up the crystal, it gets automatically added to my inventory. That is fantastic and fun unless you're in the middle of curing. You got your rhythm. You're write down, adds crystal in, and it just throws a hard brick into your brain.
There have been many times where I've been healing, and like as most know, like Spellzapp is my co-op partner, as Shadow is demons, but like we'd be playing, and Spellzapp would get an item, and I'd be in the middle of menuing or something, and it would throw it all off, and I'd be like, I'd yell something and be all like, and because it was like, it messed up my heels. And I would get the same response like in the other way from him, so
Red Bat giving Spellzapp a little bit of the ShadowWalker treatment, blocking his way. Lich, something, dead, it's done. 105. We have Spellzapp ready to enter Temple of Fiends. Considering that start, 105 being ready to go in is amazing, especially with his levels.
Yeah, like, the way this seed started, I thought we might be here a while. Definitely long, didn't see us being a 105 and anybody ready for Temple of Fiends was, so.
Yeah, this is gonna have to be, Spellzapp's gonna have a pretty significant lead. He's probably gonna be in Temple of Fiends right around the time Shadow ends up getting Lich, depending on how much time he puts in it. He's gonna be in before then, even.
And Spellzapp.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. I said Spellzapp remembering, to go pick up Wall. So that Raid Maid got that. Yes, very important. And gold bracelets. Everybody's getting a bracelet upgrade today, which is good, because,
This'll save you, dang, I promise.
Here's hoping, buddy.
Yeah, because Shadow still has to finish this up, go curse a lot for a minute, go to Marsh, clear all of Sky. We know that's dangerous. Depending if they're on the same encounter cycle, he may see a Warmac. So we're gonna have to see. This is gonna be a pretty nasty Temple of Feet. Oh, crack ponies.
Say, oh no, we're almost there. Don't kill anybody. We're almost there. It was a short walk. Just let us go. And at 106:48, Spellzapp is in Topher.
All right. I'm a little sad we didn't see this with a silver sword, just because I want to see it done. But he has Mazmoon. Yeah. As long as he can survive to get that Mazmoon going, he has the offense. He just doesn't have. He doesn't really have much in the way of defense.
That silver sword. It's definitely one of those things where if he could have made it work, he probably would have made it work. But boy, we would have been in for some long fiend fights.
Yeah, he doesn't have bonk, so he's relying entirely on fast, and then you have to kind of ration those temper charges. Even though they're low, you kind of want to save them for the end. You want to save them for more Tia and Chaos.
Yeah.
Not giving us the validation chest, even though his heals were not properly placed. ShadowWalker takes down Lich, gets the bad news, knows he was right there.
I'm about to head back down to the marsh, where he will find his chime, which I had a seed in Swiss where it was loose rod in marsh, and even knowing, like, and I had pretty much done everything, but I think it was a similar situation, Earth and Marsh, so it had to be one of those places. But it's one of those things, even if like you're pretty sure that's where your loose is, just having to go back to Marsh or just Marsh, it just feels kind of bad.
Yeah, especially you were already here. It is that extra little bit salty that it is the incentive chest. I don't know why, but it just is.
Chat asking, no, Chime was in Marsh, Loot was the vendor in Caravan, and another asking about what the record was for the series. This is round 2 of the brackets. This is actually the first match in round 2 of the brackets, and this is the first game between these two, so...
Yes, and this is a salty run back.
It
Party
sure
and
is.
all of Swiss and last year and co-op. This is all kinds of salty run back, actually.
Well, I mean, this even dates back to like last year's spring tournament. These two were matched up in the semifinals. So they had each other in like the spring tournament brackets. You know, our teams were the finals in co-op. They had a matchup in week 3 of this Swiss. So these two are not, you know, strangers when it comes to racing at all. And ShadowWalker at the hour and 9-minute mark, which boy, that hurts to say, found his loose chime and hits go mode.
Alright, speed bump. V2O. Swing did nothing. Mazmoon 10 hit 421.
Speed bump down.
One swing, one fiend. And Shadow actually indulging in a second helping of Blue State. A little bit of the Brazilian steakhouse thing going on. Got the paddle. Still wants a little more.
Making its way through Carry Floor and finding all the Grey Worms you could ever want.
Alright, now Carry with the scaling we have is pretty high. Carry is where things start to get a little scary. Nuke 180 fast, leaving Dan in that top slot. 423 not enough. Deng almost down to one knee. Danny, oh no!
Oh no!
And a full party wipe to Zap. That's where the ribbons are gonna come into play.
I see, you know, wall being cast the second time around. Oh, that smarts a little.
Yeah, you know it's 2 spells in. The kind of the conundrum is, do you use them early? Do you kind of gamble it you can chew through her? It's there's a lot to go on, but without, man, that's a rough spell. Though that's the thing with no ribbons, you have Bane, Zap, Crack, all kinds of instant death stuff. You have all of the elemental damage that can be done. And that's the gamble he made when he did that grind and said, I'm doing this floaterless and promotion lock.
You know, thankfully with that wall at level 1, he's got, I'd say, what, 9 charges of that now, so... Like, he's got a few he can spare on carry too, but yeah, that had to hurt to see.
And that one wipe giving Shadow a bit of hope. He's already up on the maze floor, about to get to the Bridge of Destiny. We'll see if he sees the same robot chicken.
Chat, if you want another Wormax sighting, you know the drill.
And we do have the Nuke Airs on Shadow side coming up, and potentially on Spellzapp side coming up here on a couple of floors also to contend with.
But Team Chat really wants a second Wormax sighting today. It is full of RNGs.
I almost think Shadow might take it at this point. Actually, I'm almost positive he will, because these are runnable, and he's taking them.
Oh.
Yeah, he's might be banking on a tough as nails Topher and going in a little higher than we were expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too bad until Carry 2 had Zap.
And just a few more steps left. No! Different tables. Or different step counters. Alright, Tiamat. Death Touch, that's still a thing. Bypasses ribbons, so it doesn't matter. Red Mage, down. With a ninja and a knight swinging nuke, this shouldn't be a problem. Tiamat wasn't too beefy. 10 hits for 14, that's not too good. 5 hits, 333 terminated. 114, 15 we'll call it. Shadow gets his 4th orb. So Spellzapp's gonna have, we'll see if how he handles this Carry 2. Didn't see on Spellzapp's side if that was an unrunnable fight or if he's just trying to take a few more levels to be a little bit more. I'm surprised to see him use resources on.
There we go. We're walling.
Alright, 9 hits, 816 with a critical. That takes the Black Mage down. No good. Wall not necessary, but still good to cast. Spellzapp on to what is usually the first of the potential gatekeepers. Unrunnable. Oh. This is actually real bad. Black Mage's down, so you don't have any of that. It's either time or resources. Spellzapp opts to go ahead and take a nuke. And ShadowWalker nipping at his heels. Yeah, this is unrunnable waters as well. And opting this time to kind of save some resources, uses that black shirt, casts Ice 2. Not good enough to take anything down.
It's taken a few rounds, but it's definitely going to be good, for him to conserve like those nuke charges, and he's getting there.
You see, all these little things adding up, giving ShadowWalker that time to maybe make a comeback without necessarily needing a wipe. Shadow has a fully leveled team across the board, whereas Spellzapp's just relying on another unrunnable. And we still have nuke heirs to come, potentially. Alright, maybe. Eventually. Almost there.
We made it to Kraken 2.
Alright, Kraken 2. Swing and a fast.
When
Kraken.
he hits hard.
Oh, 10 hits.
Oh! Well. Hits hard but can't take a hit apparently, so.
And Spellzapp opting to use a Cure 4 charge, get that Knight up without having to go through things. No fights, Tiamat. Swing and a fast. 5 hits, 286, not too bad. Tiamat, swing. Alright, 188.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh!
Rubbed the Red Mage again, no ribbons. Coming back to bite Spellzapp. Has the man mode, Chaos. No defense, no Cure 4.
No.
Just...
Not these. Okay, woo! Alright.
It's away from the Vampire Pack. Alright, Spellzapp. Healing up. Doing a quick double check, making sure he's got everything he can on that fighter. Chaos pull. Swing. Ice 2 for 80 damage. That's what you want to see. 14 damage. That is not what you want to see.
Not what you want to see. Okay, 211.
There we go.
That's a little better.
Very spell happy so far. That's good. No!
Oh!
No!
And a miss! Oh!
58. This is not good. 3 hits, 97. Stun and effective. 24 damage. Let 3. 188. Down to 1 knee. 109 hit points left. Swing. 1 damage. Damn, swings. 8 critical hit. Not enough. Down to 59 hit points. Ice 2.
Oh no.
Spellzapp says nope. I need ribbons. I need resists. I can't do this. So with that wipe, with the zap and the rub and the chip damage that Chaos was able to do with just level 2 nukes, no ribbons, was enough to just put Spellzapp down, giving ShadowWalker a straight shot. Him on the water floor, taking out those unrunnable waters that we saw on Spellzapp's side. Oh, I didn't see. I thought Spellzapp picked up Lock. Maybe he just got on the Black Mage or something along those lines.
It was. Well, Block was level. Yeah, it was level 2. So I thought I'd. Well.
Well, that's so he's hoping that he can dodge the zap and the rub bullet, get to Chaos with some mages upright, and lay on those locks to have enough damage output to get through. Sandworm tile, I mean...
And another lovely tile to find. Because this teacher was full of them. Yeah, we're looking for ribbons.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Even without ribbons, if you have promotion, Dragon, Aegis, and Pro Range, you have a bunch. You got most resistances covered. Not Zap. White shirt, okay.
Yeah, that, maybe not what he was looking for, but was still nice to pick up.
I mean, being able to stack some evasion on, well, I guess everything would that wouldn't really help too much, I don't think. Alright, ShadowWalker side. Got Tiamat 2. We know there wasn't much there. Actually surprised he survived that first round. We put some ruses up, some safeties up. 3 hits, 26 terminated. Alright. Oh, Iron Golem. Nom experience. Alright, so Shadow's makes it to Chaos, all 4 upright. 3 ribbons, promotion, and gear. I don't want to say it's a foregone conclusion, but he's pretty well set up for this.
Yeah, he pretty much has everything you really could want out of the game. He's got gear, he's got, weapons, he's pretty good.
Alright, so we're taking this first round, buffing up locks, ruses, and his power gauntlets. He has that ninja set up actually as his offense, has that knight up front to take any hits. Chaos playing coy a little bit, throws an ink out. We know about 4 spells deep is when he starts to bring the hurt. And just stacking that evasion, stacking that power gauntlet. stacking that lock, we know that's going to be really useful. Level 30 with a Mazmoon Mist. Alright, I think I saw a swing in there. Fire 2. I think we got 2 more spells before we see a nuke. 2 hits, 236. ShadowWalker starting to swing. Katana comes out. 4 hits, 350. Alright, he's got both fighters swinging now. Temper's going out. Swing with a ninja. 4 hits, 515. Another ink round from Chaos. That's what Chaos wants to see. 5 hits, 173. Just more and more tempers. More and more tempers on that ninja. Quad X, ineffective. Mazza swing. 5 hits, 334. 2 hits, 460. We're getting there. 2 more locks. He sees that he's not hitting. There's the nuke. Everybody that needs to survives. Not even taking the time on his knight to cure 4, just a red mage. Knight swings, 5 hits, 291. Ninja swing, 7 hits, 1413. Terminated.
ShadowWalker.
And we are joined by our winner, ShadowWalker. Shadow.
Gee, Shadow.
I guess my GG first off, but I guess my first question to you is how about that early game?
Man, everything was really, really great. Just, it was an embarrassment of riches. Even before, like, going into, like, oh, I need loose items, I already had, like, 2 ribbons and so many swords.
I was meaning more the, so you checked out Provoca, you had Marsh, and you had C, and you had Fire 1.
I sure did. Hey, I had Lit 1, though. Lit 1's better in C than Fire 1.
Danny said the same thing. You made the decision to check
That's right, I'm learning.
Mermaids early, and Spellzapp didn't. So he actually is doing this right now without floater, without promotion.
Yeah, we talked in the SRO room a little bit, and yeah, that would have made a world of difference.
Yeah, like you did see and you went Mars, so you know you got the ribbon, you got the floater, you got all those things out of Mermaids that he never saw, and then you know he got the canal, and then he stayed in full cleared marsh, got the chime, and left, and you got the canal, and were like, nope, I'm good. So you both found a loose around the same time, but completely different locations, completely different, and then everything just played out just differently the whole time after that, so.
Yeah, trying to do this seed floaterless would have been a whole lot different, I imagine.
It didn't seem too bad. I think the one thing that's hurt him, at least it did on this Topher run, was like he thankfully he found the Mazda like right as he did see when he was doing orbs, because it was in that really easy chest, because he had done everything up to then, which included his earth and sky dives with a, what was it, a silver sword?
He looked like he was committed to doing this with a silver sword after the grind on the 3.
So, like, he found that, and it made this easier, but I think it was the not having any ribbons that really seemed to hurt, because, boy, that was a Topher you wanted ribbons for.
Yeah, that would have been a whole lot different without any ribbons, and also without that night gear that I had.
Oh, yeah.
Which obviously he can't equip because he's unpromoted.
Yeah.
Because my knight didn't have a ribbon, but he had a faux ribbon. He had a dragon armor, an Aegis shield, and
I think at one point we said it's like everything in the game you could have possibly really wanted, you pretty much had. You had the gear. I think you had just about every sword there was.
Yeah, I didn't have a white shirt and I didn't have a defense, but literally everything else in the game I had.
Yeah.
Spellzapp, he bounced off Chaos. Yeah, I tried to man mode it with just the Knight after Tia 2 put his Red Mage down. Found the white shirt, Topher locks, top side.
He did the 2 dives. The first one he party wiped with Carry 2 and Zap. She took out everybody. And then after his second one, he was man moding Chaos, and Chaos said no. And then he found the white shirt in Toverlocked.
Yeah, Crabcake's pointing out in chat that Chaos had a ton of HP, and
Yeah.
it was a really nice thing he didn't have Cure 4.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
That
something
was
else on Spellzapp's side without ribbons is even without the nuke. If you're eating those even tier 2s and just tier 3s, without a ribbon, that's really starting to take a hit. Don't have Cure 4 on the Knight. That damage adds up. So even without that nuke, with no ribbons, those little spells start to add up. With as spell happy as this Chaos was. All right, Spellzapp going in, was able to keep his Red Mage upright this time, which should make a world of difference. Has wall at level 1.
back to, the two Dan and Danny 2 party going at it again. This seed.
And opting to get physical evasion up first, invisible and a white shirt. I'd be really, there we go. I'd be really thinking about doing that wall early.
Yeah.
White shirt, we're 3 stacks out of 6 we need to be evasion cap. Second wall, keep the Red Mage in good health, got Cure 4. And Chaos again, playing coy. Fire 2. Let's just Fire 2. Alright, start with the offensive bus. One more white shirt, get a fast on that Knight. And there's our nuke. Red Mage survives. Cure 4 on the Knight. And we're starting to swing. Stun and effective. 4 hits, 365. Opting to go tempers instead of... Oh, I think you locks on Red Mage. 5 hits, 455. Temper. Does not have lock on the Red Mage. Did not have runes. Level 2 was too good. The 3 is a little bit of chip damage. Wasted around with ink. Swing. 2 hits, 76. And just full power to that fighter. 860. If the hits land, he's doing damage. 2 hits, 148. Last temper charge. 3 hits, 686. We're getting there, though. Chaos is cycling through that spell list again. Goes for a cheeky Brack. Ineffective. Ice 2 from Chaos. Dan swings. 7 hits. 1702 terminated.
GG Spellzapp.
Yeah, GG. That was a stubborn Chaos, alright.
Yeah, his evasion was actually a bit higher than he let on too. Obviously he had a ton of health, but I had to sink a couple of locks into him before I really felt like I was getting the good swings on.
Yeah, on us, because we saw Chaos on Spellzapp's side first. We saw a miss with the Masman at a level 39, where that this is no good. Joined in the booth, GG Spellzapp.
Hey, thanks, Demon.
GG, partner.
GG, man.
Thank you.
So, Spellzapp, that was a suboptimal Topher to go ribbonless.
Yeah, I thought Ribbons, or rather Wall, was going to save me, but I hadn't seen, Rub from Mud Golems and Glare and all that sort of nonsense. And then obviously the early zap from Carrie wasn't very good, but she had a little more health than I anticipated, so I knew that the zap was second past the Fire 3, so I feel felt good about rediving after that, but then, Tiamat came back with the rub on the white mage or the red mage, and you could kind of make it through to chaos and kind of take a more defensive approach with Cure 4. So if I made it through the first time, probably would have been a lot better. But
yeah, Cure 4, and like I was saying before, even without the nuke, Chaos was just very spell happy. A lot of tier 2s to throw out. Without a ribbon, that little bit of chip damage really starts adding up. Combine that with a pretty evasion, pretty HP high Chaos. You didn't have fast, you didn't have temper. You had nothing really to kind of ramp up your fighter. It just eventually wore you down. But you took you guys had pretty wildly different seeds. You opted to clear Marsh. When Shadow left the basement of Marsh after he found Canal, he had already had the floater, so he noped out, and it was just a tale of two seeds at that point.
You went to Elflin, you saw Anorak and said, no thank you, went to Marsh, and he saw Elflin and went, why not? Or saw Anorak and Elflin and went, why not? And did mermaids, so...
Yeah, I felt with those spells, you really couldn't make a lot of work out of Sea Shrine, but I mean, I guess you can make it down to it there with Warp. You just need to not run into anything unrunnable, I guess.
Yeah, with the level 2 warp in hand, that was exactly my plan. I thought, there's as many chests in Mermaids as there is in all of Marsh, so there's a pretty good possibility that Canal's down here, and even if it's not, I'm going to find something good that I can likely use. And then I found a ribbon and a floater.
Of course, Sunsword was too, if I'm not mistaken, which, with...
Oh, yeah.
Like, the magic you guys had early game was a little handy.
So, question I have for Spellzapp. Were you committed to doing this with a silver sword?
No, it was an ice sword.
Okay, I thought, well, either way. I thought it was a silver sword.
But yeah, I was, because I was like, okay, I got fast, I got temper, decent levels, actually pretty good levels, and then, I mean, it's been enough in the past, but just not today.
So was that kind of a decision once you found that third eye tile of saying, my options are keep digging or go for the surefire thing of sitting here getting levels and just going in much higher and relying on those levels?
Yeah, it kind of changed twice, where after I cleared Armory and I missed, I was like, okay, maybe I need to do a little more. And then I saw the third eye grind tile, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'm back on the ice sword plan. But originally, it was more about the ice sword when I was in go mode, basically, where I was like, okay, I can make this work.
Yeah, it's kind of what I figured. Like, you hit go mode pretty early and just started doing things, and then you started taking levels. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. If you happen to find, like, a loose floater where you can class change, yay, but weren't gonna dig it out.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised to see Masa in the Sea Shrine there.
Yeah, we Shadow had been through there just before you, and he picked it up too, and we were all like, thank goodness that's in a chest that most people check even in go mode, because that was going to make things a lot easier on you.
Though, Spellzapp, you did miss one easy ribbon, B2 Earth, that very first chest. We were kind of almost making some bets on which chests you're going to check. That first one had a ribbon. That was the only one you would have. Well, you would have had access to the one in Mermaids as well, but we knew you weren't going there. There was one ribbon there, one ribbon in Mermaids, and then one was Cardia.
Yeah. No, that's not really on my go mode path chest, I guess. But I remember there was walls, so I was like, okay, maybe it can work.
It's a little too far to the right.
All right,
So how about that town shuffle? where only 3 of the towns were in their non-vanilla location.
I think that may have been the first time I've ever seen a seed with town shuffled that had so few towns shuffled. And then I got a little tickled when I got to thinking, well, like, it was not only like vanilla towns for half the game, but it was also like super low level, like early magic, like in Canaria. Like, you got fire and ice.
And,
Go
and
you.
The cherry on top being the vendor item being at the vendor.
Yeah.
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 Well,
There was a whole lot of vanilla in that randomized seed.
well, much like last week, a hell of a way to start off week 2. A great early game. If someone said before they seeded everybody, Spellzapp versus ShadowWalker is going to be the finals, I wouldn't have flinched. Would have said, "Yep, that sounds pretty good." So we get that early. Great game, guys. I guess I'll give Spellzapp the first shot at the final thoughts.
Yeah, just one last question. I was going to ask Shadow how his skydive went.
I mean, almost that whole seed was just smooth sailing for me. I had an embarrassment of riches, and there was just no going back.
Did you happen to run into any errors on the way?
Yeah.
I did, but I didn't see anything.
You're lucky.
Forgot
Every
about
time.
that. Those
I did see Death Touch on Tiamat one.
Yeah, me
So
too.
that was the one thing that I did see in Sky.
Yeah, well, the errors that you missed before that you saw nothing from, Spellzapp got nuke from. Because the errors had nuke.
Ooh, I ran into a Gurmedusa with 3 errors. That could have been very disastrous.
Yeah, and then I got to Tiamat and she death touched my red mage, and then I was just on A and pray mode with an ice sword. Actually made it, which was really lucky of me, but
Oh, I think my comment at that point was I think Spellzapp is in full clench mode because you had no evasion. Yeah, you were swinging that sword and hoping it would work.
Like when no fast no tipper, it was just Dan the fighter and an ice sword.
well, I got
Worked out
fast
well,
off at least, I think, but still, yeah, no, that was just hold A and pray and keep getting chunked for 5 hits, and then you're like, oh, dodged it.
Yeah, like every time I did something, it's like, okay, that's 1 round down. Go, Dan, go.
All right, well, ShadowWalker, any final thoughts from you?
GG, man. Sounds like it was a really close race despite one of us going floaterless, and I'm really excited to watch it back. And I fully expect this to go to a game 3 because I'm due.
I don't know, man. You got to go with scoreboard on that one, but I'll believe it when I see it.
For those who are interested in watching the craziness of these 2 race anymore, game 2 is tomorrow at 8, and potential game 3 is Friday at 8, both on Speed Gaming. Channels to be determined.
That's a good segue into saying thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting us. We got a bunch of Final Fantasy Randomizer. Here it is Wednesday, and this is the first race, so we got a bunch coming up. Join the Discord. We got a great Duckling community. Get you started. Get you wedded to it a little bit. I am Demon Frog, and I am once again going to leave Danny hanging to take us out.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bunch. I'm not being sarcastic at all. Just want to say GG to both runners. That was a lot of fun to watch. I expect the next 2 or 1 race, possibly 2 races, to be just as close and crazy and fun to watch as it always is to watch you guys. Thanks to Demon, my secret comms partner, pulling off the co-op comms for our co-op partners this evening, which hopefully you and Shadow are coming back for co-op this year. Little shout out, co-op tournament in July, just saying in case anybody's interested. And yeah, thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting our shenanigans, everyone who watched, and I hope everyone has a good day. And if you're interested in watching another race, we have Thundercloud versus Silverfire in about 15 minutes on Randomania 1. They're game 1 of round 2, so you should check that out. And with that, I hope, like I said, everyone has like a great day, great evening, wherever you are, and we will see you guys next time.